Hey y'all, it's Tranny Granny again. I thought about something else I'd like to talk about. Children transitioning. Well, when all this first started, I thought, wow, yay. Because I knew when I was growing up, I would have given anything to have at least gotten enough respect that I wouldn't feel like I was messed up. But I had to go my whole childhood feeling like I was damaged. There was something really bad wrong with me. And it made my self-esteem go way down. When I was in school, I let people abuse me because I didn't want attention on me. And when bullies would pick on me and slap me and trip me and do all those things, I was just going about my business like it never happened. I never reported it. I never did anything. I was embarrassed for who I was. When I had to go to the restroom, I went during class so there wouldn't be anybody in there, because I knew I was going in that stall and sat down to pee. I never stood up to pee. Now, I was profound. I could have used some support. Now, I was taken to a psychiatrist at 13, and when I tried to explain to him the situation, all he could tell me was that you can never be a woman. You got to get that out of your head. Well, I knew I could not be a biological woman. They want to go up into this biological shit now, because it's what's in your head that tells you what you are. And there's always been people out there, just like the right wing do today. They want to throw in things that is obvious. We all know that we're not biological, but I still call myself a woman. Everybody that knows me sees me and calls me a woman. My community that knows my situation have celebrated me and my art. And I was awarded Business Person of the Year. Now, in a small rural Mississippi town, that shows how they saw me. And the person I was before I transitioned and had surgery was a shell. So I would have loved to have at least been able to see a doctor that could explain how I was feeling and not make me feel like I was broken, that I could find some happiness. Because I did. I found great happiness in my life, doing all the things that these right-wing, liberal, conservative, not liberal, white-wing conservatives want to just throw in the very obvious. You're a biological man, so you're a man. Okay. None of these people, anything they got to say bother me, because there's been those kind of people always. I never paid attention to those people. Those were the kind of people who harassed me and made me feel like shit all of my life. So I don't listen to those people. I don't care what those people have to say or think. It doesn't matter. They don't know me. They don't know me in my real life. And if they did and they did not know they would accept me until they knew. So I've always thought that it would have been great for those of us that are truly transsexual could have early help. Now, I did think when it all began that puberty blockers and early hormones would help us not develop the male characteristics. Well, in my situation, being hormonally intersex because of disocebestrol, DES hormones my mother was taking. So I never went through a full puberty. I never developed any, muscle mass on my body that a male would have. And then the hormones, I had very little male hormones going through my body, and I did not have a male sex drive. I was attracted to men, but you know how I was attracted to men? Their eyes, their smiles, their hands. I never thought about their penis. In my mind, that's just something that goes with it. It wasn't something I was attracted to like gay men are. Totally different. So, you want to say I'm just a homosexual? Okay. All right. Your opinion doesn't matter to me. You can't cancel somebody who is canceled already. So, but over time I realized that because of the situation today where so many people are thinking they're trans, but they're not really trans, they're just on the bandwagon. I don't call it abuse for parents to try to help them. I thought Jazz Jennings was absolutely fabulous to be awarded that opportunity to do it so young. And all of these conservatives are jumping on the fact that the child or the young woman is going through a hard time. Like nobody else in this world ever goes through hard times. Everybody does. Not just trans. A lot of people gain weight and get depressed. That could be part of her personality. We don't know. But to say that she's made a mistake when it's too late for her to correct any mistake, she has to go on with life as it is. And you don't need to make her feel like she's worthless. And that's what even transgender conservatives are saying that. And I know you want to try to keep these children from getting these hormones and things. And surgeries, like the girls are getting the top surgeries early. Of course, you have to stop some of that. But for somebody like Jazz, who's already went through all of it, she can't take any of it back. She's got to move forward from this day and make the best out of her life she can. And I'm not convinced that she made a mistake just because she's going through a bad time. I've been through bad times. A lot of people have been through bad times. I've had a nervous breakdown twice. But it had nothing to do with my transgenderism. It had to do with the fact that I was bipolar and things were going bad in my life, like marital breakups, that kind of thing. That had nothing to do with being trans. We don't know what's causing Jazz to have a bad time. But I think you need to let up on her. Because that shows how heartless you people are. That you don't mind cutting somebody down and giving them no hope at all for your views to make you money. No, I don't agree with that. But like, it don't matter if I agree with anything you say. It don't matter. But I still think that young adolescent trans people should be given the opportunity to talk to somebody and to feel like they're okay. They need to be told what is available when they get of age, but just to try to live their lives and see where they want to go in their lives until they're more mature. But I know that I planned all this from the time I was 12 years old. But before that, before I ever knew that there was any kind of surgery or anything for anybody, I had these plans in my mind as a 10 and 11-year-old of going to Paris, France, and just living my life as a woman. I just wanted to live it. I just wanted to be able to live the way I was comfortable. And I would have done that if other opportunities had not presented themselves. But people in my day, when they seek something out, like we had to seek it out and find that information, then we were real deal. We were serious. Because nobody accepted it back then. Nobody. Even the gay community did not accept it. It's the only place you could go. You'd have to go to a drag bar that allowed you in dressed that way. But a lot of those people, the drag queens were jealous of us. We thought we were better than them because we said we were women. So a lot of them didn't like us. And of course, macho gay men thought we gave them a bad reputation. We were the bottom of the barrel. So as soon as we could, we started going to straight places and living totally straight, heterosexual female lives. And of course, I'm only speaking from the male to female. And I know perfectly well I'm not biologically female. But I know my brain is. So you can argue all day about that, and it don't give a shit to me. But that's how I feel about children and them transitioning. Because some of those people are true transsexuals or intersexed or whatever. But they still need to be given respect regardless of whether you think they should be given anything. Don't talk to them about anything. Now, I want you to know how it made me feel as a 10 and 11-year-old child to be able to see something in the newspaper or a magazine that would mention anything about anything like that. The Indi Hadra, the eunuchs, or transsexuals, or even drag queens. You know, when we would once in a while catch something like that, it would be like, I'm not alone. I'm not the only one feeling this way. So that's how I feel about the youth, the trans youth. Of course, I would not promote a trans person. If an underage trans person was to contact me, I would say you need to go to your parents and you need to talk to a psychiatrist. That's your first option. You need a therapist. That's what I would say. I would never go to someone and say, well, this is what you need to do. No, I wouldn't do that. I would show as much support as I could. But that's for the parents to do. But you shouldn't call parents that are trying the best of their abilities to support their child and to call them child abusers. Because I can remember a day that it was totally opposite, and those were really child abusers. I had family members, if they would find any of my girls' clothes stashed or my dolls and doll clothes, they'd burn that stuff. They sure would. And on a couple of occasions, once I was a teenager and had serious things, serious makeup and clothes and all that, and they would find it, and they would purge it all. They would burn it. They would make me stand there and watch them burn it. That was humiliation. I felt like I was nothing, and I did try to commit suicide. Luckily, I was not successful, but I wanted to die. I did not want to live, and I wouldn't want any child to feel that. Now, I'm sorry if you didn't know anything about being transgender till you were an adult, then you weren't a transsexual. Because a transsexual knows from their first thoughts, they think they're girls. They want to dress up in their mama's clothes. They want to play with dolls. They want to play with their little girl cousins and play house and all that. So you have to think about the child. Don't promote it, but listen to it. Try to understand it. Try to be supportive. But for God's sake, don't say, you're weird for what you think, or you're wrong for what you think. You can never be this. You can never be that. No, you can never be a biological female. You're right. You're absolutely right. But you can be a female. You can be a physically and legal female if that's what you are inside and you push towards that. But you got to think of things realistically. Of course, you can't think, well, I'm just going to go out there and be. You're always going to have ups and downs with being trans. Always. That never goes away. No. No matter how much you or the people around you see you as a female, it's always there. So, okay, y'all. Tranny Granny signing off.